Hey everyone, Justin here for S&S Archery. In today's gear video, we have a new product from Wise Precision. This is the all-new Sparrow bino adapter. All right guys, getting started in today's gear video. In front of me, I have the all-new Sparrow bino adapter from Wise Precision. This particular attachment allows us to mount up our binos onto a tripod, and we can also glass off the top of our trekking pole. So very cool. We'll get into that in a second. But this particular attachment is meant to mount up on one side of your objective of your binoculars and center up over the top of your tripod head. So unlike some of our other split ring designs where once it's mounted, basically the attachment part or the plate is still on the side of the objective, the new Sparrow transfers that over to center. Another benefit of one of these stay-on mounts on your binoculars is if you've ever ran that center post, sometimes you misplace it. I do it very often. So whether it doesn't make it into your pack for the hunt, or maybe you're exchanging glass going from a spotter to a pair of binoculars, at some point you got to take off that center post off the tripod. There's potential to set it on the ground and walk off. So this style is definitely nice. Stays on your binoculars all the time. It's low enough profile. It doesn't really intrude on your binoculars as you're putting them in and out of your bino harness. It just works. So we really like this design. The Sparrow weighs in at 0.65 ounces. So extremely lightweight. All machined aluminum. As far as the cinch, this is a nylon and Dyneema material that's laminated. Very stout, flexible. It's not going to tear on you. I've seen plenty of weight tests on this. Definitely quality material. As far as the tensioner tightening system, you're going to get 2 Allen wrenches provided once you buy the Sparrow, and that has to do with winding it up basically to tighten down on the objective, and then there's a set screw on the bottom, so that's why you have 2 different wrenches. We're going to go ahead and I will mount this up on 3 different binoculars, all of them a different style and how we can mount them up. Before we get started in installing the new Sparrow up to a pair of binoculars, I'm going to show you how to reset the cinch just in case it ever comes all the way out. Here on one side, you're going to see the tabs. The other side's smooth. And the tail, it is all the way smooth. Basically, what we have here is we have a top pin that's this chrome color with the slot on the back side. And then our main pin, which is down here at the bottom, it actually has a slot or channel through it. I'll try to turn this so you can see that. That is where the actual strap is going to run through. So we kind of have to angle it a little bit to get it started. But basically we want these tabs. When I start the strap, we want the smooth side first, but the tabs we want to finish on the back side of the unit here. So first thing, take that little tail, drop it down into the slot of that lower pin. We're just going to feed it down through underneath the body of that with those tabs. As soon as we feel it somewhat bite, don't pull too hard, but as soon as it slows down and catches on that, we're going to take the tail, make sure there's no twist in it, come over the top. Now go back through the back side of that top pin, and then we're going to go right back down through that same slot that we initially slid into. All right, so we'll go ahead and install the Sparrow on our first pair of binoculars, the NL Pure 10x42s. We're gonna do this setup, the most basic of the 3. It's gonna be out here on the objective, out towards the end. This is a single bridge system, so it's very easy to install. The first thing I want to do is just make sure my eye pupillary distance is set. So I'm just gonna hold these up to my face. Next thing I'm gonna do is on the Sparrow, you're going to see the Allen screw to tighten up the tension on the cinch. I want that facing away from me so it's easy to access. It's not heading back up towards the bridge. The next thing I want to make sure is that the ARCA plate is in the center of the binoculars. Next thing, just slide it over the correct objective. I know I'm going to be on the right side. Hold it in place and just pull that cinch tail up. You can just tuck it underneath. And basically I want to be able to just barely have enough distance to slide my pinky finger under. So that's close enough. Next thing, just make sure that band's lined up. I know that my pupillary distance is somewhat set, so I can go ahead and hold the Sparrow level, just kind of eyeballing down through. You might find after you go through the process tightening this screw up that it may be off just a little bit. So if you need to loosen up and retry, very simple to do. So I'm just going to snug this up, keep moving it until I like its position. Hold tension on that screw, grab your small Allen key, and tighten up the set screw from the bottom. And it holds right in place. It is set, very low profile, mounted up on the NL piers. All right, so the next mounting option we're going to look at is a dual bridge pair of binoculars. These are the EL 10x42s. Once again, set that pupillary distance. Once you have it set, you can just go ahead and set those binoculars down. Grab the Sparrow, make sure that Allen key is looking away. We want the arca plate here in the middle. So I know the orientation is correct. I'm going to be on that right side barrel again. Pull the cinch out from the top. I'm just going to lay the binoculars over. Run that cinch down through the middle. Give myself some distance there with the tail. Feed it through that back side. Down through the middle slot of that bottom pin. Roll the binoculars back over. Pull that tail up to where I have just enough to get my pinky finger underneath. Go ahead and tighten up the tension lock. Use the little Allen key. Set that lock screw. And we are all set up. So that is how you install the Sparrow on a pair of binoculars with dual bridge. Nice and level, ready to mount on a tripod. All right, so we made it to our last mounting option on a pair of Zulu 10 15x56s. If you have a very large bino that are heavy, you need to make sure that the Sparrow is kind of centered up. This is a great option for it. So the first thing we need to do, set our pupillary distance. Go ahead and lay the binos down. Grab the Sparrow, make sure that orientation with that screw is correct. The arca plate is in the center. Next thing we're going to do, just kind of lay the attachment on the right side of the barrel. We're going to open up the cinch, slide in the objective all the way up to the bridge, pull the cinch around the eyepiece, and then we can basically roll that around, start slowly tightening it up. At this point, you just want to reach down and kind of tuck the cinch around the eye focus so it's not rubbing that wheel. Slowly tighten it up. Once I have good tension on that, just like before, you set that set screw. So you can see there, went around the bridge, no conflict with the focus wheel, and we're centered up on the bridge, so well balanced. All right, so we just got done showing you the 3 different mounting options for different kinds of binos. Whether you have a single bridge, a dual bridge, or a large pair of binos, there's a lot of different mounting options out there. The Sparrow is going to work on just about any pair of binos. Very sleek in design, lightweight, comes in at 0.65 ounces, and Arca Swiss compatible. So when it's time to glass, throw it on your head and you are locked in. Very rigid and stout systems, not going to move around on you. Last thing I'll demonstrate is how you can use the Sparrow with a trekking pole. Sometimes you just don't want to carry a tripod into the field. Might be a short hunt, so you can use your trekking pole. Here on the bottom of that Sparrow, basically a cutout that is fit for your trekking pole. So definitely not going to be as sturdy, but it's definitely going to be better than handheld. So it's cool they give you that option. One thing that Wiser Precision does is try to utilize their gear in all the different ways they can. So if you guys have any questions about this bino adapter or anything else that we've done in the past, please feel free to give us a call, shoot us an email. We'd be glad to help. And thanks for watching.